All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Look, evaluating a soft switch in 2026, it is incredibly high stakes. We're talking about the absolute beating heart of your telecom infrastructure here. Today, we're breaking down exactly how to select the right one, pulling directly from the latest industry guides to give you a highly actionable roadmap.
And we really need to establish this right out of the gate. Getting this wrong costs serious money. It's not just an IT upgrade anymore. This core decision directly dictates your call completion rates, your network resiliency, and ultimately, your operational margins. You aren't just buying hardware or software. You are literally buying the engine of your telecom business.
Here's our roadmap for today. The 2026 soft switch landscape, Class 4 versus Class 5, essential features for carriers, the top 5 provider guide, and finally, a final buyer checklist.
Part 1. The 2026 soft switch landscape.
So, why is the pressure on your voice infrastructure higher than ever before? Well, global voice traffic is just incredibly complex right now. Between tightening wholesale margins and strict mandates, like E911, your switch absolutely has to offer precision routing. Plus, you're fighting rising threats like SIM-box fraud and international revenue share fraud, and frankly, your margins just cannot absorb those penalties anymore.
Moving on to Section 2, Class 4 versus Class 5. Before we even look at a single vendor, you've got to ground yourself in your own architectural needs. Class 4, that's all about massive throughput and wholesale transit. It is built for sky-high calls per second and really intelligent least-cost routing. Class 5, on the other hand, is built for the end user. Think UCaaS, hosted PBX, and high feature density. You absolutely need to know exactly which side of this divide your core business sits on.
Section 3. Essential features for carriers.
All right, with our architecture defined, what features are absolutely non-negotiable to protect your revenue in 2026? You really have to insist on these 3 pillars. Advanced routing that actively blocks negative margin calls, strict regulatory tooling, and dynamic automated fraud mitigation that kills bad sessions the second they pop up.
Now, here is the real make or break piece. Steer shaken. If you're operating in North America, native support for SIP identity header verification and token signing, yeah, that's not optional anymore. It is basic survival. You need this native support built right into the platform to satisfy FCC mandates, or you're going to face crippling compliance penalties.
Which brings us to Section 4, our top 5 provider guide.
With those non-negotiables locked in, let's evaluate the top 5 providers. Now, think of this less like a ranked list and more like a highly specialized toolkit where each vendor solves a specific problem. First up is VoiceBuy. If your operation is cloud-first and you need rapid deployment without the heavy CapEx of physical hardware, this is your perfect match.
They really shine by offering a fully managed cloud infrastructure. This makes them a fantastic fit for scaling MVNOs or wholesale startups who just want to launch quickly. They essentially take away the infrastructure headache while giving you highly scalable enterprise-grade VoIP capabilities.
On the flip side, what if you're pushing pure wholesale voice and need rock-solid high-volume capacity? Well, then SIP Softswitch is exactly where you want to look.
Sippy has been an industry benchmark for a reason. Their dynamic least-cost routing engines and rate deck management are just incredibly dependable under massive traffic loads. They handle high concurrent calls seamlessly. And, as a nice bonus, they give your dev team really robust REST APIs for deep integrations.
Next up, let's take a look at PortaOne. This is really geared toward hybrid operators who are blurring the lines between wholesale and retail services.
If you're offering that mix, their unified platform is a massive advantage. It handles billing, provisioning, and routing all in one single architecture. By combining Porta Billing and Porta SIP, you get a true all-in-one BSS/OSS system. They even offer source code access if you need to do some deep, custom development.
Now, for those of you operating in incredibly strict regulatory environments, I'm looking at you, Tier 2 and Tier 3 carriers in North America, Sansay is an absolute fortress. Their microsecond latency and superior native stir/shaken handling provide the extreme performance that high-volume U.S. transit absolutely demands. They deliver that high concurrency, enterprise-grade reliability to keep your network humming and the regulators off your back.
Finally, we have NetSapiens. If your primary focus is delivering end-user business communications, they are a clear market leader in the Class 5 space. They provide a ridiculously feature-rich UCaaS platform and multi-tenant portal management perfectly suited for MSPs and regional ITSPs. Plus, their flexible licensing is a huge win. You can choose between seat-based or session-based models, giving you total control over how you want to scale.
When you put these providers side by side, it lets you instantly map your own deployment model directly to the right provider. You can clearly see who natively handles stir-shaken versus who needs integration, and whether a managed cloud, on-premise, or hybrid setup actually fits your specific engineering strategy.
And that brings us to Section 5, our final buyer checklist.
Okay, we've covered the providers, so let's arm you with the highly technical operational questions you need to ask in your vendor RFPs. You've got to push these vendors on their true maximum tested calls per second and concurrent calls under full media relay and encryption load. Ask exactly how they handle database failovers and if their API coverage is genuinely 100%. Demand to know if their platform can automatically kill active sessions if velocity spikes are detected. Seriously, do not settle for vague answers here.
To wrap up this explainer, you really need to answer one final critical question. Does your business model require the pure, raw performance of high-volume wholesale or the fast-scaling adaptability of a cloud-first architecture? Answering this honestly is the key to thriving in 2026. Map your long-term goals against the specialized tools we've discussed today and ask yourself honestly, is your current infrastructure built for the future or is it already holding you back?